Tonight on NewsLink Indiana.
Severe weather struck Delaware County today. We will tell you if more is on the way.
Gas prices have people digging deeper into their pockets. Find out how Ball State University is coping with the rising costs.
Live from Ball State University, news for the campus community and all of Delaware County. This is NewsLink Indiana.
Delaware County is under a tornado watch until 3 a.m. Good evening. I'm Brandon Pope.
And I'm Sarah Brannon. And more severe weather is heading our way. Chris Havley joins us to tell us when we can expect the storms to hit Muncie. Chris?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, actually, these storms are making their way from the west in Illinois. They popped up around 4 o'clock this afternoon. They made their way across. Currently, we have tornado warnings just now entering the state for Vermilion County and also severe thunderstorm warnings up for Benton County as well. So the storms are making their way toward our area. Taking a look at the regional radar, you can see those storms popping up over Illinois. Those will eventually make their way through to Indiana to Muncie by midnight hour, I'd say around that time. So I'll have more details on the forecast as well as storm critiques and stuff when we get back to you guys. Thanks.
Severe weather has taken center stage from another natural phenomenon today. Officials at the Hancock County Public Library in Greenfield were forced to evacuate. Lightning struck the building, catching it on fire. 65 people were in the building at the time. They were gathered for earthquake drills as part of the Great U.S. Shakeout. Library Director Diane Osborne says the building was closed for the event. And county commissioners proposed to ban smoking from all bars and taverns in Delaware County. Commissioner Don Dunnick says they are considering the ban because of increasing health care costs related to smoking. Ball State students have mixed feelings about the ban. Jake Baudelaire says smoking and alcohol go hand in hand in bars, and if smoking is seen as a public safety hazard, then alcohol should be as well.
Because it seems like a lot of what goes on is sort of contradictory. They'll make this illegal over here, but this over here that's equally, if not more dangerous, will remain legal.
The commissioners will meet May 2nd to discuss the ordinance.
The price of gas has people cutting back, but Ball State still has to keep running no matter how high prices climb. Transportation Director Sue Weller says there was an almost $14,000 difference between 2009 and 2010. Ball State isn't over budget yet, but the school will have to make changes if prices continue to rise. The last time they went over budget was 2008, when prices hit a record high of $4.17. Indiana has one of the top 10 highest gas prices in the country with an average of $3.90. High gas prices also affect Muncie citizens.
Yeah, we'll probably be buying a new vehicle in the next year, and with fuel economy will be a big deciding factor in what we choose.
As gas prices are going up, Indiana's unemployment rates are going down. Indiana Department of Workforce says the rate dropped to 8.5% last month. This is the first time since 1993 that Indiana's jobless rate has fallen by a full percentage point within 3 months. The Indiana Department of Workforce Development reports that Muncie's unemployment rate is 12.1% as of March 2010 and 9.3% as of March 2011. The Delaware County unemployment rate has dropped 3% as of March 2010 from 12.3% to 9.3%. The agency says manufacturing jobs accounted for the largest gains in the job market, followed by leisure and hospitality. The professional and business services sector reports the largest decline.
A McDonald's hiring bonanza in Ohio ran into some trouble this afternoon after a fight broke out. It happened in Cleveland after police say 2 women began trading punches in the parking lot. The McDonald's owner and a manager went outside to break it up. That's when a witness says the unthinkable happened.
Fight broke out and the girl, she was getting beat up and she ran to her car, and the girl who she was fighting came and punched her, and after she punched her, she backed the car back, and I seen the owner of all the McDonald's get run over, also the manager of one of the McDonald's get ran over, plus a couple more people, but they got the worst of it.
No word yet on the condition of the manager or owner. Governor Mitch Daniels wants to give money back to the taxpayers. Yesterday, He wrote a letter to lawmakers urging them to keep an automatic taxpayer refund in the budget. The refund wasn't included in the latest version of the bill. The taxpayer refund would give money back to taxpayers if state reserves reach a certain level. Daniel says the bill is taxpayer friendly and supported by a large majority.
The mother of a 15-year-old boy accused in a central Indiana school shooting says her drinking fueled her son's anger. 57-year-old Karen Quickery told a Morgan County judge that she was not good at disciplining her troubled son. He faces charges of attempted murder and aggravated battery. Police say the Martinsville West Middle School teen shot 15-year-old Chauncey Jackson twice in the abdomen inside the school's entrance. The defense attorney says the testimony shows the suspect was a, quote, troubled young man who is a victim of his own circumstances, end quote. And next on NewsLink Indiana, Ball State students talk about the importance of physical education.
And the First Lady's airplane had a close call with a military aircraft today. Find out if Michelle Obama was in danger. Don't go away. A group of physical education students are preparing for graduation in a few weeks. Before they're sent off to the working world, they presented a conversation hour on the past, present, and future issues of physical education. Students from the Ball State Physical Education Pedagogy Program presented information and lead discussion sessions for anyone interested in education. The discussions took place last night and tonight in Worthen Arena's lower lounge. The students highlighted the importance of physical education from its roots and explained what the future may hold for physical education.
The idea was to have students get into more of a formal or more extensive preparation of we might call it an argument or a justification to show a little bit more about the discipline that is tied into their career aspirations.
Now let's take a look at stories making headlines around the nation. A plane carrying First Lady Michelle Obama had to abort its landing after it got too close to a military cargo jet. This coming from a senior White House official who says the plane had to circle around Andrews Air Force Base briefly while the military jet landed on Monday. The official tells CNN that Mrs. Obama's plane was only 3 miles away from the jet when it should have been 5 miles away. The official says the First Lady's life was not in danger. An FAA air traffic controller's error apparently led to the incident.
And another air traffic controller is in hot water, but this one wasn't snoozing on the job. He was watching a movie. It happened early Sunday morning at the Cleveland Air Route Traffic Control Center in Oberlin. The FAA says the controller was watching Samuel L. Jackson's movie, The Cleaner, when he accidentally left his microphone on. It transmitted the audio over airspace and a military pilot could hear the movie. The FAA has suspended the controller and a manager at the center.
And a memorial service was held today to mark the 16th anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing. 168 people were killed on April 19, 1995, when an explosion ripped through the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building. Survivors and family members fell silent to honor each of the lives lost. Oklahomans vowed they would never forget the tragic day, and they gather each year to pay tribute to the victims.
Now let's come back home and send it over to Natalie, who has a preview of the daily news headlines.
Natalie, what story should we look for tomorrow?
Thanks, guys. Now time for a look at tomorrow's headlines from our partners at the Ball State Daily News. First off, tomorrow is 420 and marijuana usage has increased on campus over the past 4 years. And find out what the protocol is for students caught with marijuana on campus. Next, in a series of investigative stories about Title IX, more information will be revealed about how much female coaches are paid compared to male coaches. And finally, some Ball State students are taking your fast food orders. Munchie Express will pick up your orders and make personal deliveries. All that and more coming up in tomorrow's Ball State Daily News, on newsstands across campus or online 24 hours a day at bsudailynews.com. Back to you guys.
Coming up next, severe weather is making its way into Indiana. Chris Hadley will time out when it will hit Muncie.
And in sports, Chris Rankel will tell you about additions to the MAC conference.
Well, Sarah, we're going to continue to follow this tonight, but there is a tornado watch in Delaware County, so definitely severe weather to watch out for.
Chris Hadley has more right now.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Delaware County is under a tornado watch until 3 a.m. this next morning, so you definitely want to stay tuned to the National Weather Service, and if you have any weather radios, turn those on. Currently, we have warnings issued for the western side of the state. Those warnings include tornado warnings for Warren, Fountain, Vermilion, and Park counties. That is until 9:45. Those storms have shown possible indications of producing rain-wrapped tornadoes within the squall line. So if you have family in that area, you might want to give them a call, tell them to seek cover. Also, the storms also have such dangerous straight-line winds if you're not seeing tornadoes, so definitely be careful of that. There are also severe thunderstorm warnings up to the north for Benton and Jasper County until 9:45 as well. Those storms have been reported to have quarter-size hail with those, so definitely take cover if you're in the area. Take a look at the regional radar right now. Seeing the storms fire across Illinois. Dangerous band forming here with a bow echo, which means the winds are kind of pushing that storm off to the west, or the east, excuse me, and those will have some straight line wind damage with those. So this is a situation you definitely want to keep track of throughout the night. Just to let you know, it's going to continue throughout the night. We have a moderate risk for severe weather, which includes the possibility of hail, tornadoes, and some dangerous winds. So definitely stay tuned to local weather service for that information. Local radar, though, right now, we're clear. We're in the clear right now. Nothing going on in our area, so there's nothing to really worry about, but we will see those conditions deteriorate as we get later into the evening. 55 degrees right now. That's the warmest temperature we've been all day. We started out at 37 degrees, and the winds are out of the east at 6 miles per hour. National radar shows you that, hey, there's a big temperature difference up here along the lower Great Lakes. 37 Detroit, 55 here, so there's definitely a huge temperature difference as you go from south to north, and that's what's kind of sparking off these storms. Take a look at the forecast going into the future. We can see what's going to happen basically tomorrow when we start seeing things clear out. The cold front producing all this will finally make its way out. We'll have one day of kind of some, cruddy, cloudy weather on Wednesday. Thursday, beautiful conditions. We'll start to see the skies clear out, temperatures warm up briefly, but then in no time at all, our next system comes around the area, and we'll see another round of storms for this weekend. Friday especially, we could see another round of maybe some severe storms. So 5-day forecast shows, hey, we got some mostly cloudy skies for Wednesday. Thursday, the skies clear out. We're back to 56 degrees. Friday, 55, and the storms return. So it's going to be a brief lull in the action. It's too early to see if these storms are going to be severe for the weekend, but I think our main concern right now is to keep track of the storms we meet in, seek shelter if we do go under a warning, and that's the most important thing. So
yeah, definitely make sure to stay away from windows and all that type of stuff.
Exactly.
Now, what should we do if the severe weather hits Muncie?
If you do have a severe thunderstorm warning, you want to get away from any windows, kind of go to inside. Even if it's a severe thunderstorm warning out, you definitely want to treat it as a tornado warning, because tornadoes can come out of severe thunderstorm warnings too. If there's a tornado warning, that means there's either a tornado spotted or radar indicates one, so you need to seek shelter right now. Go to the lowest floor of your building, whether that be a basement or just the first story of your house. Seek an inside room surrounded by no outside walls, mostly interior walls, and that's your best bet. So it's a dangerous situation. You definitely want to stay tuned, guys.
Yeah, make sure you track your National Weather Service for the rest of the night. Well, up next in sports, find out which Cardinal was named MAC Player of the Week.
And ahead in entertainment, Brittany Tyner will tell us which music group is opening a school in New York City. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome into NewsLink Sports. I'm Chris Rankel, and despite all the rain and cold weather that we've had the past couple hours, one softball player remains red hot. Amanda Vegas Montalto was named the MAC Player of the Week after completely dominating the competition over the weekend. She had a 1.250 on-base percentage, had 8 RBIs against Wright State and Central Michigan, 3 home runs on the week. That gives her 9 on the season. More importantly, 20 in her career. That's a new Ball State record, and she's still got a year to go, so that number is going way up. Most importantly, the Cardinals went 3-2 over the last week, and they will play their next game against the Indiana Hoosiers tomorrow. And another women's athlete is also getting some recognition. Emily Maggard has had a phenomenal career as a Ball State Cardinal, raking up awards left and right and solidifying herself as an all-time great women's basketball player. Now she can add one more to the list. Maggard has been named the All-Academic Team for the first time in her career. The senior posted a 3.22 GPA with her major in exercise science while leading the Cardinals on the court, averaging 14 points per game, also leading them in rebounds and blocks. She finishes her career 4th all-time in rebounds, holds the single-season record for rebounds, and is the only player from Ball State to receive the All-Academic honor this season. And the MAC Conference is getting a new member for the 2012 season, however, not in all sports. The Cleveland Plain Dealer has confirmed that the University of Massachusetts Minutemen will join the Mid-American Conference in football only starting in 2012. The move will give the Mid-American Conference 14 teams, and they will probably move rivals Bowling Green and Toledo back into the same MAC West division. Temple is the only other MAC school that is only in the conference for football. And with this news, that only means one thing. Football season is upon us. Pete Lembo and the gang will hit the field on Saturday for their annual spring game. Be sure to tune into SportsLink Radio on WCRD for that. Coverage starts at 3 p.m. And finally, even though all of the rain moving across the Midwest, there's still baseball to be played, and we're going to tag them all on our drive across the major leagues. Starting off with the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Currently in the 7th inning, the Diamondbacks lead the Reds 5-3. Drew Stubbs has hit his 4th home run of the season for the Redlegs. Also, Ryan Roberts going yard for the D-backs. And then moving from Cincinnati to the Chicago White Sox taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. And that one has just gone final 2-1 Rays. Brian Zobrist is 2 for 4 with a triple and a single for Tampa Bay. And for the Sox, A.J. Przinsky went 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI. And finally, moving down to the big showdown in the AL Central, the Cleveland Indians taking on the Kansas City Royals. Game started at 8:10, and in the 4th, it is 2-0 Royals. Chris Getz has an RBI triple for Kansas City. And for Cleveland, Jenmar Gomez is getting his very first Major League start. And finally, a piece of baseball history was made last night. Cuban fireballer and Cincinnati Reds relief pitcher Aroldis Chapman consistently throws in the 100s, but last night he took it to a whole new level. Chapman already tied the record for the fastest pitch ever thrown at 105. He even got that number tattooed on his arm. But last night, with the Reds losing 9-2, Chapman came in and threw an unofficial 106. There was some discrepancy between the radars. One had it at 105, one had it under 106. But regardless, that's fast. That's almost unhittable. I can't even imagine a 106 fastball coming down here. I mean, Brandon.
Oh my, it's a rocket right there.
I don't want to get hit in the face.
I'd probably
oh, you don't want that.
I'd fake an injury if I could just to get out of that one.
Ooh, that would hurt if you got hit in the face with that. I'm telling you. Well, up next in entertainment, find out when Janet Jackson will be performing in Indiana.
And we'll take a final look at the weather. Stay tuned.
Welcome to NewsLink Indiana Entertainment. I'm Brittany Tyner. The Harrod in downtown Muncie will be hosting a poetry night on Thursday. Opening music performed by Tom Chester and others will begin at 7:30, while open mic and spoken word will follow from 8 to 10 p.m. And the Black Eyed Peas are opening a school where New York City teens will be able to learn video and music production. The Black Eyed Peas Peapod Foundation is working with Adobe Software's Adobe Foundation to open the Peapod Adobe Youth Voices Music and Multi-Academy in the Lower Manhattan. Classes will begin this July. And finally, one teen in Wisconsin won't have to worry about anybody else having the same dress as her for this year's prom. This is because her dress is made out of Starburst wrappers. Tara Fry, with the help of her mother Karen, will be dancing the night away in a dress handmade from Starburst wrappers. Karen has been weaving the wrappers for 6 years, and after 5 attempted fails, Tara finally has her dress. The mother-daughter combo never counted exactly how many thousands of Starburst went into the dress, but they always made sure to purchase the big bag of Starburst. Well, thanks for watching NewsLink Indiana Entertainment tonight. I'm Brittany Tyner.
Well, with the severe weather on the way, how's weather looking, Chris Havlin?
Well, we just have some new warnings issued for Clay, Owen, Putnam, and Vigo counties in Indiana until 10:15. Those are associated with that system, with the line of storms that was producing those rain-wrapped tornadoes. That's something we want to watch out for. As we can see from the radars, still a very strong line of storms moving from west to east. Portions of the northern part of Indiana may not see it as severe as the central and southern parts, so we're going to have to keep an eye on this. If that warm front lifts north, things can get ugly here in Muncie, so you definitely, like you said, Brandon, we want to stay tuned to the National Weather Service and keep your weather radios on just in case any kind of other severe things happen. Also, the warnings that were in effect until 9:45 for the other portions of Indiana were also in effect until 9:45, and those were probably going to be extended for farther east as we get into later in the night. So it's a serious situation, guys, but just stay tuned, and if it heads our way, I know we'll all take cover, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Well, that's all for NewsLink Indiana tonight. Join us again tomorrow night at 9 right here on Cardinal Vision.
In the meantime, you can stay connected with us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for tuning in and have a great night.